Hello, my name is Xavi de Blas. I'm the main developer of Chronojump software, and I'm the president of Chronojump Association. I record this video because I want to show you all the main changes we have done in the current versions. As you know, every Chronojump version starts with a number like 2.5.0 or 2.5.1, or the last one recently published 2.5.2. This 2.5, it means 2025. So these versions published this year have a different way to do some things that I hope you will understand. And of course, we make for being a lot more useful for you. Okay, so here you can see that in Chronojump we have different modes that they are related regularly to the sensors. Here in races, in race analyzer, we have a signal. A signal, it means that one capture has some data a long time. It's quite different than the jump. A single jump has a contact time, flight time, but it's just one value or one set of values of one instant. But in signals, the data, there's a lot of data a long time, and this data is scattered accordingly and is analyzed in a shape like a curve. Okay, so here we have a signal. In force test that we divide in isometric and elastic, we have also signals, and also in encoder test that we divide in weights and inertia. So all these tests have a management, a graphical management of the signals that was not very appropriate for the user. It was a little bit annoying. And as we do Chronojump, we perform, we improve it continuously. But we are also users, and we are teachers, and we are having many evaluations of our athletes. We really fast, we realize some things that have to be improved, as you are going to see now. Here we have a couple of videos of my colleague Xavi de Blas. Sorry, because now you see my camera and his camera. But here is how in encoder, for example, all this information is managed. Here we have some athletes. Here we have the results of a set. And here we have the capture and the capture options and devices and these buttons that, sorry, but I hate these buttons since the first time I thought about it and I programmed it. The first button is it's overview, and it's an overview of all these people, how many recordings have as being an encoder mode. Here we have some sets and some repetitions stored. So here you're going to see how many sets and repetitions have any of the athletes, and then you load what you desire. This is very slow and is very confusing. I hate it totally. Okay, here you can see in the video how you load a person. You have the data here, but before you have to, or you should select which persons you have, and you have a double window. It's very confusing. And then you select whatever, you have some data, and it worked. It's not a big problem, but could be better. Okay, this is previous to the versions published this year. In this second video, it's more the same. Here you have Xavi de Blas also, but this is more modern. The same two buttons, now they are here in the right. This kangaroo was not shown in that version. We put just for the video, for our marketing. And here in top right, we have the load. So overview of the persons and load of the set. And it's quite confusing and very slow. Also, we divided in these versions capture and results. But it's very annoying because capture is this thing, and also this is capture, and this is related to capture, and comment of the capture or the load, and here we have load. So it was not very clear at all. And of course, we have a big window with all the data. This is nice, but we don't like it. So we put a lot of effort in these versions first in the race analyzer and in the force sensor in version 2.5.0, and then 2.5.1 have some improvement and fixes, and 2.5.2 had a lot of effort in doing all this for the encoder that it was much, much more complicated. So here you can see the different sensors, and we can go to whatever. For example, we can go to here, weights, and I have data of some students that for sure they have no problem to be shown here at all. And here we have Mark Santoyo, sorry. And as you can see, this is with 40 kilo. This is the set, sorry, this is encoder. I wanted to show you for sensor. Let's go to for sensor first. For sensor, and I have no data of this user, but I have data of Paul Salvatella and Sergi Marquez. Let's take, for example, Paul. And now there's no overview and load here or here. All this is captured. This is the current set, and this is the session results. This is absolutely new. And many users don't know, but this bold white line here, it allows you to go up and down. And if you go too much, it says that this graph needs more height. Okay? And then it can be shown. And also, this is helpful here. If you have vertical, horizontal space, you can play with this. So one new thing is this N is very useful, like myself, that here is a class with my students, and only 2 of them have been doing some tests related to the force sensor. And here I can load this hungry test, or this one, or this one. And on the left, I see a graph of which test I have selected, that is this one, and I'm seeing here. So there's the current set and the session results. And this session results is now of the current person, because here I only have Paul Salvatella, and all this is of the current person. And I'm seeing the best 8, and best can be by 2 criteria in this mode in force sensor, or by the last one, by order from the first to the end. And here there are the 11 tests that Paul Salvatella has made. Okay, so you can order in different ways, and you can choose one person or more persons. Here I have Paul Salvatella and Sergi Marquez, these 2 people, and here you can see both. And when I click to anyone, I can see the data here. So it's much, much more convenient. Years ago, we didn't want to do this because we want to have just capture and have your information of this set and not put a lot of information that maybe could confuse the user. But finally, that 2 buttons was not a good idea, and we moved to this plan. You can see more things now. This information is bigger here, and also it's in monospace. Then when data is real-time updated, these numbers doesn't move to the left or to the right because each of the numbers have the same width and height. This is quite useful, and a colleague of us, Anthony Morales, suggested to do it like this, and we have done it. So we have this, and also we have here a way of seeing the data by a bar plot or by a scatter plot. Let's see the same in the example of modes in weights. I go here, and I have Sergi Marquez again. This is Bernard Yeste, because now I have all the persons. Secondly, here, Sergi Marquez has no data, but for example, let's check Neil and Laril. Here I have Neil with 20, 60, and 40, and is sorted by mean power. Let's sort it by extra weight. And this is very convenient, and this is absolutely new. Here we have with 20 kilo, 40, and 60. And here we are seeing the power with 20, with 40, and 60. I can click at anyone, and it will load, and I have all the data here. And it's very convenient also because this graph is new and is real time, and it can zoom properly. And if you go like this cannot be lower, but of course this shows more height. And I think here it's not going to happen. This graph, it always have the needed height. So here you can select whichever repetition, or you can do it here. And also, as you see loading, and it changes everything. This yellow is because the second repetition is the saved repetition because it's the best in the criteria of the mean power. We have it here, and it's what we have been selecting here. But also, we have more things. If we see all the persons, then I'm seeing only 3 repetitions. But if I see more repetitions, this person icon, it means that this repetition and this repetition, that is of Neil and Glaril, is the selected person. And this is very comfortable when you have lots of data and you want to see which are the repetitions of some person. You can find it fast by this button. Okay, if we go again to the current person, these 20, 40, and 60 have colors, and these colors are related to the extra weight. So in this bench press, this is in Catalan, but it means bench press. In this bench press movement, there's a set with 20 kilos, a set with 40, and a set with 60. If I take the set of 40, and I want to save also this repetition, now I have 2 repetitions with 40 kilos are in yellow because it's current set that is selected here. I'm seeing also the repetitions here. Of course, you can hide this and hide this if you don't want, but if you show it, you see like this. They are these 2 repetitions and they are these 2, and both are in gray because it's in the intermediate weight. Because we have 60 that is black because it's the stronger in weight, and 20 that is the lighter. So all this is much, much better. All this was not needed, so it's an improvement just for you, for being a lot more useful, having less mistakes, being able to see the data better. And here I had the mean power, extra weight, and this is the last by execution time. That you can check also looking the data in here. But also, if you change the main variable, now the main variable is mean power. If I change, for example, to mean speed, then here is the mean speed. And as you can see, now it changes because extra weight, it's the same, 20, 40, and 60. But of course, the best one is this one, because the speed is higher when the weight is lower, of course. Let's go again to mean power because it's what we prefer in Chronojump, but of course you are free to use the variable that you like the most. Okay, so I hope you understood this. When you want to compare, sometimes you have the problem that all these vertical axes until 0 is very practical, but sometimes for getting the difference between smaller differences, is better in a scatter plot where the 0 is not on the bottom. Here we have a little bit of a space and a little bit of vertical space on top and in bottom, and it's better to compare this data. Okay, so you can choose whatever you want, and all these are news of this version. All the encoder stuff, as I told you, it's in 2.5.2. That is, of course, in the website, and I will point it out later. These changes made that as we have this data here, now this edit test button is very important and has lots of functionalities. So here we can change whatever we want related to this capture. And then the button of recalculate that was present in the signal related modes, race analyzer, force sensor, and encoder modes, this has disappeared, and these buttons are related to the next capture. I can change it and capture here, or close and capture, and will be according to these buttons. And if I select whatever set that I have in my database and I want to change it, I don't change it here like in the past. I change it here. That is much more convenient. This can confuse maybe some users that have been with Chronojump for many years, because in the past, when you load here any set, then these buttons here change, and it affects to the new captures. So this was quite confusing. Sorry, what we have done like this for years, and now maybe we have a little bit time, or you will need a little of time to adapt to these changes, but it's totally much better. So this is the button that you have to use now, and it's better, much better for sure. I hope that you will like it. Okay, I told you about these sets here is convenient. This is because it's encoder. Also, we have the rest time like before. And if you are in another mode, like in force test, it's not called a test, it's called M. Okay, how many captures you have made. Also, this button is new now. Maybe you cannot see it because it's small, but modes is showing the third mode. And if I'm going to jumps, it's going to be the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And when I check jumps, now what's highlighted is the first one. And this we decided to do because some people get confused with the different modes, and now things are better and easier. Okay, I want to show you another changes in a fast way. You are not going to see directly, but before there's something that was very annoying, that when you are in jumps and you want to capture, here I don't have my platform connected and my Chroma connected, so there's device. But if I have it connected and I do capture, there was one thing that happened. It was very annoying. If I wanted to do a counter movement jump, I should start in previous versions inside the platform. And if I want to do a drop jump, depending on your configuration, you can start inside or outside. But the problem was when you start, for example, a counter movement jump, and you are out, then the software tells you, you are out, please go in. And when you are in, press this button. Sorry, in the video I'm not showing this, but I think you have seen, and it was very annoying. Right now, in this version, if you do the same, if you capture and you are out, it knows, it tells, but it's waiting you, and you don't need to press again any button. So it's much more practical for any problem. And also there are some people who use some way to run Chronojump from another program, and this solves other problems, and for sure you will like it. Okay, so this, you can start a jump in or out, and if you are not in the correct position, you will not need to click anything. The software will know and will show you here. It's much better. Another thing that I will explain now very fast, because there will be a video soon published about that, is that in races you have this multi-stage test. Here we have the shuttle run, in Course de Navette we tell sometimes in Europe, or PIP test, or BIP test, but shuttle run is the correct name. And this yo-yo intermittent recovery test, constant speed test, where you can choose how many meters you are going to run, and at what speed and how many laps. Or here for example, in yo-yo intermittent recovery, you do the test, you start with all the people in the session, and when you start, you will see your data here, and you can see how a person is performing the test, and finish any of the persons at any moment, or finish anyone, or making exempt, or also mark a warning. It's very powerful, this, and is not related to any of our sensors. So with this mode, you can use it, of course, and you don't need to buy nothing of Chronojump, and also Chronojump is free software, as you know, so you can download for free, and just the detection is nothing, is the sounds that also we made and will be reproduced here. So with that, you can do whatever you want. Sorry, because I see that the light has been out here in the room where I was recording. I cannot do nothing about that. So let's continue. Maybe it's automatic. Let me check. I don't know why, but it's gone now. Okay, so with that, I want to show you also in force sensor, here in isometric or in elastic, I have some feedback. And here there's a questionnaire arithmetic. This is very nice. It has 4 modes. If you have a force sensor, please click here and play with that, because it's very funny. And the last thing I want to show you about this new version is here in weights. And in weights, I have connected now my encoder, and now it's detecting it here. And I can have, it's detecting another device that I have here also, but I can select the encoder for capture, but I have an advanced. And in this advanced, I can test my encoder. Let's play a little bit and test what happened. And you see here what it detected and worked it correctly. But also I can forget the encoder. Why this is useful? Chronojump is detecting automatically all the devices. If you put an encoder in the encoder mode and you try to detect it, you will see it correctly. But let me hide the camera because I'm seeing too dark at the moment. How I hide the camera? I think so. Yeah. When it's detected, you don't need this forget at all. But there's some people that in any version, in Windows, Mac, Linux, or whatever, they have any problem in detecting the device, and then they contact us. So if you have any problem, you can async manually. And when you async manually, you async a sensor to a mode. In this case, I'm in encoder mode, so I can async to an encoder. But what happens if I async manually incorrectly? So you always can forget. So I can forget this and then detect it again. So let's see it. I forget it, and this is forgotten. I have a new button also for refresh. I'm refreshing, and it is detecting again. Okay, detecting, and I can hide this advanced, and then I can select it, and here now I can do my capture with no problem. Okay, so as all the Chronojump versions, here in the software, I can download. Here you can see this 2.5.2.11 in August 19. That is at the moment that I'm doing this recording, just today. And here the macOS version, it will be published soon. This is just not the last one. The last one is the 11. This is 2, but it will be published today or tomorrow. And this is the Linux version and the Chrome OS version. And always these versions here, while you are in the Chronojump software, you have these read changes. And read changes, it points to this. And here I have all the versions. This is the new things that there are some small changes related to encoder. But these are the changes that I describe it you. So the video I made, it was an explanation of all these changes that you have here that include the translations of our volunteers and many other things. So if you want this deeper information, please go here and you have everything. And of course, this is also resume information of what really are all the changes that we are doing every day in the software, almost doing no vacation. Okay. So I hope I go to show me myself again. Dark. So sorry. Here. So thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoy this new version. Bye-bye.